Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Poke Trainer Tyson here. Checking in with something that I thought was an interesting conversation that I found on uh, r/Poke Investing, and somebody was asking, "What do you think, or what do you feel better for the long term? Which do you feel is better for the long term, Surging Sparks or Mega Evolution?" I thought this was interesting because at first I thought, well, these two things aren't really that similar. One is a base set, one is kind of a close to the end of an era set. One is coming out during a decline. One came out and everything exploded, which I don't think necessarily has too much to do with the actual product, more just where the market was and where the fandom was at the time. And Pokemon TCG Pocket came out around when Surging Sparks came out, all that different stuff. But as I looked at the sets themselves and at the boxes, I said there are some similarities, and I think I actually do kind of have an opinion. Um, as far as the long term goes, right? So, first, I want to start by looking at the booster boxes. Um, so, Mega Evolution booster box right now will run you $258. What's the average? 257. Yeah, so 258 bucks on average for a Mega Evolutions booster box. This is after Wave 2 came out and the market started to correct down. So it's pushing stuff down. Also, this set is brand new, brand new. I think it's less than a month old at this point, and it's the start of a block. This set will be in print for the next two-ish years, just because they got to pump out cards for competitors. Um, you look at Surging Sparks boxes are currently 224, $225. It says the market price here is 250. Let's look at the sold, just because that's a little bit more discrepancy. Sold today 231, 311. Okay, that 311 is definitely pushing up the market. So, okay, like 240, 240. So, a very similar price to the other booster box. Um, Differences here, this booster box is a little older. It's not super old, but it is a little older. So it'll be out of print sooner. Um, a con to the Surging Sparks box that the Mega Evolution box has over it is the Mega Evolution box, specifically the enhanced booster box. Um, if I go pull up the enhanced one, the enhanced booster box comes with a promo, right? It comes with the Bulbasaur that's worth like 25 ish bucks by itself. And this one running about 250, so they're within $20 of each other, all the booster boxes. So what that says to me is that we need to look at the cards in the set to get a true valuation, because there are pros and cons to both. Uh, Pro Mega Evolutions has the promo. Con Mega Evolutions box is way more simple and plain than um, the Surging Sparks box. If you want to talk about the curb appeal of a box, when it comes to a collector showing this off in their collection later on down the line, that will matter. I think a lot of people do care about that. So, for example, for a set like Mega Evolutions, they might want the ETB more than they want the booster box because there's not much to show here, but the ETBs look cool and the Pokemon Center ETBs look cool, right? Um, but uh, after looking at the singles, I think I tend towards Surging Sparks, and let's talk about why. So I've got pulled up here all of the big hits that you're looking for in both sets, and Mega Evolutions has some good cards, some pretty cards, right? This Lucario is great. This Gengar is great. This Venusaur is great. The SIRs have just been getting better and better. But as you can see, they're not the biggest hits in the set, right? The biggest hits in the set are these gold cards because they're super hard to pull. They're like the god tier rarity, like Nostalgianomics likes to say. Versus something like Surging Sparks, where the SIRs are the biggest pulls, right? The Pikachu, still a great card. Latias and Milotic, these are the big three, um, and they still go crazy. Um, I think long term, people would rather chase these than chase the gold cards. Here's the reasoning why: the gold cards are harder to pull. They are not. They don't look better than the SIRs. I think that's just objectively true. And as much as people like the rare chase, long term, I think people will want their rare chase to turn out to be something. They'd rather have something that looks like this, right, or something that looks like the Pikachu of the Latias, some great art, than this kind of generic gold card That's just because it's hard to pull, right? I bet you long term, for the people who want to collect singles and slab singles, that a SAR Pikachu in a PSA 10 will be more than the a Mega Lucario or a Mega Guardy. And I bet you that even if the gold cards cost more because they are rarer, that's true. Um, they will move less. They'll be less liquid because down the line people will go, "That's cool, but I want the cool card." Right. My example for this is Rainbow Rares from Sun and Moon. Right. Rainbow Rares from Sun and Moon were the most rare cards. That was the chase. People wanted them. They were more expensive for a very long time. Even when you got later in to Sun and Moon with the tag team cards, when you had alt arts available, when they were newer, right before they went through these two booms, Rainbow Rares were still more expensive. And then long term, people looked and said, "Wait, these arts are crazy on the tag teams," and they went after the tag team arts. And now Rainbows have kind of fallen by the wayside, right? So long term, I do think Surging Sparks is going to be a better play because of the strength of the set. Mega's not a weak set at all, but because of the strength of the set, I do think Surging Sparks potentially will be a better play. If you really want to talk about it, these two sets, as similar as they are, there is a even better play in the Scarlet and Violet era, and I think it is Destined Rivals. Um, you got you have Gen 1 and Gen 4 bait in here. You got Misty's cards, Cynthia's cards for the Gen 4 people. You got Team Rocket stuff. You got Ethan's for Gen 2. Yeah, Giovanni specifically, right? On a lot of these cards. Giovanni and the Mewtwo, Giovanni and the Nidoking. I think that the nostalgia bait for this set will keep it up versus both of those sets. But if those are the two that I have to choose from, and if you're in a position where I want to diversify out of something like Destined Rivals or not spend Destined Rivals booster box prices, I think your next best bet is probably going to get Surging Sparks, especially now that Wave 2 has come out. Or excuse me, now, yeah, they've reprinted a lot of this stuff in Surging Sparks and the prices are down. We've seen a lot of examples of people fire selling that were potentially flippers that realized their quick tendies are gone, or that they can't just turn around and make a profit. So that's just my estimation. Is I would be going after Surging Sparks personally, um, and then as we go on, I'd probably go after Mega Evolutions, especially because Mega Evolutions is a base set. We see this every generation. Pokemon releases their best stuff always in the back half. It seems to be like clockwork that this happens. There might be a few things that pop off, like the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved, right? That's the second set of Scarlet and Violet. But realistically, the back half of Sword and Shield, the back half of Scarlet and Violet, the back half of Sun and Moon is where a lot of the money lies. So while Mega Evolutions is a cool set and I think it's going to do well, it's going to do better than like a Scarlet Violet base set or a Sword and Shield base set, in my opinion, because Pokemon's kind of figured more of their stuff out. I don't think, as far as the Mega Evolutions generation, that it's going to be the best set. So I would stick I would stick to back half of Scarlet Violet boxes over Mega Evolution right now. But that's just where I'm at with it. Thought it was an interesting thought experiment to go look at some things. Remember to like, subscribe, share the video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.